So the Pirates sweep the Orioles. They call up the top prospect in baseball. All the pitchers in the rotation have a really good series. You can make a case that was one of the best home opening series the Pirates have had at PNC Park. Good morning and welcome to Offbeat here on North Shore 9 presented by FanDuel. My name is Alex Stumpf. This is a daily look at your Pittsburgh Pirates, who at the moment are 6-3, coming off of a sweep of the Orioles. Pitching looked great. Offense came through whenever it needed to the first 2 days. Rhino Hearn is having a great start to the season. Oneil Cruz is leading the National League in home runs. I'm going to be writing about his swing a little bit for my Substack, Book Roll Bucks. But I want to talk about something that I wrote for Book Roll Bucks this weekend. I got owner Bob Nutting for a quick Q&A for a couple questions. And one of the things I brought up to him was that this offseason, it looked like a more aggressive team. You know, they acquired more. And I asked, you have Paul Skeens on this team. You're bringing up Konnor Griffin at some point this year. Did that play a role in the heightened urgency of this offseason? Bob Nutting's answer, in quote, 100%. There's no question. In a market like Pittsburgh, we're going to have some leaner years and we're going to have some good years. We need to capitalize as we did in 13, 14, 15. We need to build on strength. We need to build on the foundation and really double down. And I believe that's what you're seeing this year. Now, we could take issue, I guess, perhaps with the leaner year comments, even though it was quite a few leaner years getting up to this point. But let's get to the heart of the thing. Their talent that the Pirates have here, and Bob would bring up like Bubba Chandler as another example, who was called up last year, but is still a rookie right now, and at one point was regarded as the top pitching prospect in baseball. That is another big, young impact player potentially there. There is a foundation potentially in place, and the Pirates did bring in some hitters this winter. I mean, we've seen Rhino Hearn make an impact. We've seen Brandon Lau make an impact. Marcell Ozuna hasn't. He's very aware of what that fans are booing, that he is not off to a good start. Good for him. I think he handled his answers about as well as you can. I still don't have that much optimism at the moment that I think he's going to turn into that 23, 24 Marcell Ozuna that I think the Pirates kind of hoped he would be, or at least kind of close to. But it was also, at the very least, another pretty big swing in free agency. Going into last year, the Travis Williams quote of, to make it the playoffs, period, full stop. That being the goal for this year. I asked Bob also, is that a fair way to view this season if it's successful, making the playoffs or not? And I won't give the full verbatim quote. Go check out the article. It's free on it, Book Roll Bucks. But he did talk about how just squeaking into the postseason isn't necessarily a successful year in his eyes. Like, he wants to be able to go to the ballpark and every day feel like they have a realistic expectation to win. He talked about how in the clubhouse, the goal isn't just to get that, third wild card and then, see what happens. It's like, no, it's to win a championship there. That would obviously be a very large step forward from what we've seen in the years past. But it's just nice to hear the owner talk like that, because we haven't heard a ton from Bob Nutting the last couple years. I last talked to him in a group setting with Noah Hiles of the Post-Gazette on the home opener in 2025. My last time that I had him one-on-one was in spring training 2022. Bob Nutting does not do a lot of interviews, and I can just tell you from my personal experience, the last time I had a one-on-one interview with him back in 2022 compared to this one, it was a different cut of jib. It was a lot more heightened expectations. It was a lot more trying to say, you put the money where the mouth is of like, hey, we want to build a contender. We want to make the playoffs. We want to bring a lot to this city. It's what you want the owner to say. The team so far has responded. They are off to a good start. Like the offense, I still see some red flags there. I don't know how good they're going to be down the long stretch. I don't know if this is all really contingent on Ryan O'Hearn hitting like an MVP candidate and Oneil Cruz leading the National League in home runs, like the things that almost certainly won't happen. But, for now, they are in this very small sample size. I mean, you could also say, Paul Skeens isn't going to have the 6 or whatever his ERA is right now. Like, that'll go down to all things even out, apparently. Okay, I get that point. But we know what the expectation is. Can the Pirates achieve the playoffs? And so far, I see a path. I'm not saying they will, but I do see a path. And it is the starting pitching controls the game early. The offense is able to create instant offense. I know Don Kelly's, stretch or really preaches, stringing at bats together, getting hits with runners in scoring position. You know how this offense is scoring runs right now? With extra base hits. That's how runs are scored in 2026 primarily. It's just with the way defenses play, it's tough to string together 3 base hits right now. With positioning in a high strikeout, low batting average league, you can't really count on that. You have to count on some slug. We have seen some slug from this offense so far. We have seen runs from this offense so far. It's not coincidence. It is coinciding. So they have that. Starting pitching has looked good. There's been too many walks from the staff in general. That needs to get better. But you don't have to squint too hard to see how this team can be good in the National League Central. You don't have to squint too hard. They didn't even get that much contribution from Konnor Griffin this weekend at the end of the day. Like, he had that really good first at bat, that double. Maybe they don't win that first game without that double because he's able to drive in a run and then he's able to score a run with his speed playing a big part of it on that base hit to, the shallow outfield being able to score from second base. But this weekend wasn't, just Konnor Griffin putting the team on his back. This team wasn't in the same way wasn't, Ryan O'Hearn, just putting it on his back. Like it has been, Nick York comes through in the clutch one day. It has been Urquidy coming through to get the save in New York. It has been Oneil Cruz creating instant offense. It's going to have to be a team effort. 9 games is barely over 5% of the season, but it is just the first little taste. And so far, this is kind of how this team was designed to win games. And they're winning them that way. We got to take a break here for a second. We'll be right back.
This episode is brought to you by IQ Bar, our exclusive snack hydration sponsor. IQ Bar protein bars, IQ Mix hydration mixes, and IQ Joe mushroom coffees are the delicious, low-sugar, brain and body fuel you need to win your day. The Ultimate Sampler Pack is a great way for you to try all IQ Bar products and flavors. You get 9 IQ bars, 8 IQ Mix sticks, and 4 IQ Joe sticks. All IQ Bar products are clean label certified and entirely free from gluten, dairy, soy, GMOs, and artificial ingredients. With over 20,000 5-star reviews and counting, more people than ever are fueling their lifestyles with IQ Bar's brain and body boosting bars, hydration mixes, and mushroom coffees. The Ultimate Sampler Pack includes all 3. My personal favorites so far have been the almond butter chip and the iced tea lemonade hydration mix. It's just really full of flavor. I love starting my day with it, and I couldn't imagine starting my day with anything else other than IQ Bar products. Right now, IQ Bar is offering our podcast listeners 20% off all IQ Bar products, including the Ultimate Sampler Pack, plus free shipping. To get your 20% off, text MLB to 64,000. That's MLB 64000. Message and data rates may apply. See terms for details.
I want to talk about one more Q&A that I had with Bob Nutting. My first question for him was just around the energy around the team. Because we went in the last year and people were flying planes over the ballpark that say, sell the team, Bob. And we're seeing billboards and there's a lot of frustration, a lot of animosity, just like a lot of people who aren't happy with the direction of the ball club. And this year, not saying that, it looks great, but at the given moment, Fangraphs has the Pirates with the best odds to win the National League Central. Could you believe that 9 games into a season? Could you believe that there's this much optimism around it? Can you believe that it's a parking code that this photo that Eddie Provident took? That's on the side here. Pittsburgh has found a symbol, as stupid as it is, and it's going to lose the plot if it hasn't already at some point. But, there's something to rally around, not just the city, but the team. There are players, they're buying shirts and stuff like that. And I asked Bob if he noticed a difference in the energy. And part of the answer that he gave was, quote, we see it, they care so deeply about the team. And we saw that last year when they were upset. We see it this year when they're celebrating an incredibly exciting team out on the field. I think they're celebrating a team that is a good and can be good as they expect. This city desperately wants this team to be good. I've been around covering and talking to fans for the last 7 years whenever they haven't had all that much hope for some of those years. This team isn't always the kindest to its fans. The city desperately wants it to be good. So far, the Pirates are playing well. The city is giving love. That on Friday was one of the most electric atmospheres I have ever experienced in person in that stadium. I came into it thinking, there's no way there's going to be more buzz than the Paul Skeens debut. And then the next day I'm walking around and I've had multiple people tell me, yeah, that was the 2013 wild card energy-wise. And yeah, a lot of it was for Konnor, but it was also for opening day. It was for a good showing. It was for a pitcher that the city likes, and Mitch Keller. It was just the perfect storm of everything going right. And the team following through and winning a good ball game against a quality opponent. And then they would go on to sweep. And they won 3 different ways this weekend. Bob Nutting says, I think they're celebrating a team that is as good and can be as good as the fans, expect. The city wants a winner. Period. Full stop. Thank you so much for listening to Offbeat here on North Shore 9, presented by FanDuel. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe wherever you find fine podcasts, or subscribe on YouTube to check out the video version. Thank you so much for listening. We'll talk again tomorrow.
All right, that wraps up this episode of North Shore 9. Thanks so much for tuning in, whether you're listening on the podcast or catching us on YouTube. If you enjoyed the show, please give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It really helps us grow. And if you're listening on the podcast, a quick review goes a long way in helping others find the show. Plus, be sure to tell a friend about us. There's always room for more here in the NS9 community. And for those looking to support us a little more, consider joining our Patreon, become an MVP member, and get exclusive perks while helping us continue to bring you more of the Pirates content you love. Thanks again for all your support, and let's go Bucks.